Alright, so I forgot to set the camera up and stuff before I started working this morning, so I'm just going to show you guys kind of where I'm at right now. Now, fair warning, it's not very pretty, but it's functional, so that's what counts. So I have the entire frame completed. I'm kind of walk you guys through exactly how I did that. So I had the existing trailer rails, and I tried to use as much of that as I could. Now, for example, here I had an existing support to keep it together, and again, I want this to all be off the ground, so when I move, I can transport this. I use those 90-degree braces that I had from the trailer, cut them in half, and I attached them here to keep this wood together. Used some existing wood that I had, cut in half, made another leg right here. Same thing on this side, and then over here, obviously the trailer, or the wood that I had didn't really line up very well, so I have a 90-degree brace on every side, and then for here, I just used another piece of spare metal I had laying around, and I attached it here for some strength. Every side has two legs, with the exception of this side. This one only has one leg, but it's plenty strong enough. Again, 90-degree brace on every single side, and then where the pieces didn't match up with every side except for that side over there, I just wedged it, and then I used nails. It's just a mixture of like wood screws and then nails where I could. Now the floor, you have 1, 2, 3 boards right here, and each board on the outside goes to one of the legs, and then this middle board, I had these braces here. I cut them in half, drilled 2 holes, so they're just hanging that bottom piece of wood right here. And then you have 1, 2, 3 boards, and on top of those I have this was some spare wood I had, and then this is actually from the trailer bed from before. You can see it laying over there. So all of this right here is actually pretty good for weight bearing. I have braces under here, so that way I can actually stand on top of all this, and it doesn't have any issue whatsoever. So the next question is going to be, how am I going to layer it to hold the dirt? But I think I have a plan, so we'll see if it works. Alright, so I think I've come up with the best solution I can without having to go to the store. I had an old camo net laying around that I acquired at some point in time in my life, and I pulled the camo sheeting off of it, so now it's just like a mesh plastic material, and I think that this should hold the weight of the dirt, at least disperse it across, and then the wood boards underneath should do the majority of the weight bearing, and then I've got just a little couple pieces of wood here like spread across to keep it taut, so that way it doesn't start really sagging through, and then, you know, creating like either just a spot where it goes all the way down, touches the ground, and it also doesn't just rip the net. And then obviously it's held up around the edges with all the same thing, just little bits of wood screwed into the edges. And so I think that this should work out pretty good. I ran out of material right here, and I had to use some of the like the phrase of the camo netting, I guess it is, but I put a piece of wood underneath, so it should hold wood. It should hold dirt, so we'll see. Question is, this is a pretty big box. It's going to get really heavy really quick once I put dirt in here. So the point of building it like this was so that way I could move it to whatever house I end up moving to. And it's going to be really heavy, I think. So I don't know. If I can move it, great. If not, then whatever. But this gives me something to grow stuff in right now. And I had to go to the store 0 times. Now, it's not pretty. It's not perfect, but again, that wasn't the point. I still got to go around and like this wood, the existing wood on the trailer was like incredibly hard, so I had a really hard time like nailing stuff through it. So it's a mixture of nails and screws, like I said before, but it is together right now. So next step is to just clean it up, get all the extra like tidbits cleaned up, shave some of these down, and then go to the store, get some dirt and get some vegetables, and then I should be good to go. So we'll see. Okay, so I made the trip to the store. I tried to go to Walmart and get everything classic. Walmart didn't have really anything of what I needed, so I ended up having to go to Lowe's, but Lowe's had everything that I needed. Here is the final product. So I ended up using like 5 bags of dirt, and if you look, you can see light to the other side, so the mesh is holding. The dirt looks real good. The plants that I got all seem to be in really good shape. I'm a little concerned about some of the spacing that I put on some of them, but again, it's not a huge deal. I mean, if it works, great. If it doesn't work, then it was a fun project. But I've got butter baby, butternut squash. I've got cayenne peppers here, another type of cayenne pepper here, jalapenos in the back. Little guy don't want to stand up. Red bell peppers to the left of him. Cherry tomatoes in the back. Another type of cherry tomato here. These are both zucchinis. This is mini romaine lettuce. This is collards. I accidentally bought collards. I meant to buy kale. This is a watermelon. Not really sure how that's going to work out in this box, but we're going to try it. Right here, I have some carrot seeds. I'm not sure if this is deep enough to grow carrots, but they're like small carrots. So if they sprout, great. If they don't, I'll plant something else there. And then up here is green beans. Again, not really sure how that's going to work out, but I don't know. Give it a week or two, and we'll see if anything pops out of the ground there. I did buy another strawberry plant over here, which I'm going to keep outside of the box, but I mean, I just figured why not have fresh strawberries. Everything looks great right now. Just gave it its first watering. The box is holding up, and everything appears to be working excellent. So I'm excited. I spent zero money on anything other than dirt and plants. So mission accomplished. It's really ugly, but it's really effective. So that's what counts. It was a fun project to do during quarantine. It's basically like a puzzle for me to figure out and gave my brain something to do because I was getting a little bit stir crazy. But the most exciting thing is that I think, give it 3 weeks and I should start seeing hopefully some sprouts from my other vegetables, and then, I don't know, maybe a month or two, and I can put fresh vegetables on my own table. And this is probably going to make more vegetables than I need, but that's fine. I'll just give them away to my friends and whatnot, but still adhering to social distance guidelines. But yeah, I should be able to grow a lot of vegetables with this, as long as everything takes. The only thing that I'm a little bit concerned about is that I'm not sure if, because the bottom has like air underneath it, if that's going to help dry the soil out. I mean, I'll make sure to keep the soil wet, but hopefully it doesn't, it won't allow it to get too hot. This spot on my front porch is, I think, pretty good. It gets a lot of direct afternoon sunlight, and I'm going to trim my hedges back a little bit so that way they're not shading out the front part of the box. But all in all, I'm going to chalk this one up as a huge success. I'm really pleased with the results, and I really just can't wait to see, how many, if any, vegetables I end up being able to eat from it. So we'll see, and I'll if and when the results come in, I'll make sure I pop those up here so we can see the fruits of my labor.